Barrackroom Ballads **** Barrackroom Ballads by Rudyard Kipling. Dedication to Tia. Contents. First Series, 1892. Danny Diva. Tommy Fuzzy Soldier. Soldier Screw Guns Cells Gunga Dinoons Loot Snarly Owl The Widow at Windsor Belts The Young British Soldier Mandalay Troop in the Widow's Party Ford Okabul River Gentleman Rankers Route March in Shillin a Day. Second Series, 1896. Bob's Back to the Army Again Birds of Prey March Soldier and Sailor Two Sappers That Day The Men That Fought at Minden Cholera Camp The Ladies Billikens The Mother Lodge Follow Me Home The Sergeant's Wedding The Jacket The Heathen Mary, Pity Women. For to admire. Dedication to Tia. I have made for you a song, and it may be right or wrong, but only you can tell me if it's true. I have tried for to explain both your pleasure and your pain, and, Thomas, here's my best respects to you. Oh, there'll surely come a day when they'll give you all your pay, and treat you as a Christian ought to do, so, until that day comes round, heaven keep you safe and sound, and, Thomas, here's my best respects to you. R.K. First Series, 1892. Danny Diva. What are the bugles blowing for? Said Files on Parade. To turn you out, the colour sergeant said. What makes you look so white, said Files on Parade. I'm dreading what I've got to watch, the colour sergeant said. For they are hagging Danny Diva, you can hear the Dead March play. The regiment's in Hollow Square, they are hagging him today. They've taken of his buttons off and cut his stripes away, and they are hagging Danny Diva in the morning. What makes the rear rank breathe so hard? Said Files on Parade. It's bitter cold, the colour sergeant said. What makes that front rank man fall down? Said Files on Parade. A touch o' sun, the colour sergeant said. They are hagging Danny Diva, they are marching of him round, they hauled Danny Diva by his coffin on the ground, and he'll swing in half a minute for a sneakin' shootin' hound. Oh, they are hagging Danny Diva in the morning. His cot was right hand cot to mine, said Files on Parade. He's sleeping out and far tonight, the colour sergeant said. I've drunk his beer a score o' times, said Files on Parade. He's drinking bitter beer alone, the colour sergeant said. They are hagging Danny Diva, you must mark him to his place, for he's shot a comrade sleeping, you must look him in the face. 900 of his county and the regiment's disgrace, while they are hagging Danny Diva in the morning. What's that so black agin the sun? Said Files on Parade. It's Danny fightin' hard for life, the colour sergeant said. What's that whimpers overhead? Said Files on Parade. It's Danny's soul that's passin' now, the colour sergeant said. For they are done with Danny Diva, you can hear the quick step play, the regiment's in column, and they are marching us away, ho! The young recruits are shaking, and they'll want their beer today, after hagging Danny Diva in the morning. Tommy, I went into a public house to get a pint o' beer. The publican he up and said, we serve no redcoats here. The girls be'ind the bar they laughed and giggled fit to die. I outs into the street again and to myself said I, oh, it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy, go away, but it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play, the band begins to play, my boys, the band begins to play, oh it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. I went into a theatre as sober as could be, they gave a drunk civilian room, but ADNT none for me, they sent me to the gallery or round the music halls, but when it comes to fightin', Lord, they'll shove me in the stalls. For it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy, wait outside, but it's special train for Atkins when the troopers on the tide, the troop ships on the tide, my boys, the troop ships on the tide, oh it's special train for Atkins when the troopers on the tide. Yes, mark in Mocco uniforms that guard you while you sleep is cheaper than them uniforms, and they are starvation cheap. And hustlin' drunken soldiers when they are going large a bit is 5 times better business than paradin' in full kit. Then it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy, how's your soul? But it's thin red line of arrows when the drums begin to roll, the drums begin to roll, my boys, the drums begin to roll. Oh it's thin red line of arrows when the drums begin to roll. We aren't no thin red arrows, nor we aren't no blackguards too, but single men in barracks, most remarkable like you, and if sometimes our conduct isn't all your fancy paints, why, single men in barracks don't grow into plaster saints, while it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy, fall behind, but it's pleased to walk in front, sir, when there's trouble in the wind, there's trouble in the wind, my boys, there's trouble in the wind, oh it's pleased to walk in front, sir, when there's trouble in the wind. You talk o' better food for us, and schools, and fires, and all. We'll wait for extra rations if you treat us rational. Don't mess about the cookroom slops, but prove it to our face the widow's uniform is not the soldier man's disgrace. For it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and chuck him out, the brute. But it's savior of his country when the guns begin to shoot, and it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and anything you please, and Tommy ain't a bloomin' fool, you bet that Tommy sees. Fuzzy, Sudan Expeditionary Force, we've fought with many men across the seas, and some of them was brave and some was not, the Pathan and the Zulu and Burmese, but the Fuzzy was the finest o' the lot. We never got a ha'porth's change of him, he squatted in the scrub and at our oars's, he cut our sentries up at Swakim, and he played the cat and banjo with our forces. So here's to you, Fuzzy, at your home in the Sudan, you're a poor benighted heathen but a first-class fightin' man, we gives you your certificate. And if you want it signed we'll come and have a romp with you whenever you're inclined. We took our chance among the Khyber Hills, the Boers knocked us silly at a mile, the Burman give us Irrawaddy chills, and a Zulu impy dished us up in style, but all we ever got from such as they was pop to what the Fuzzy made us swallow, we held our bloomin' own. The papers say, but man for man the Fuzzy knocked us holler. Then here's to you, Fuzzy, and the missus and the kid, our orders was to break you, and of course we went and did. We sloshed you with martinis, and it wasn't hardly fair, but for all the odds agin you, Fuzzy was, you broke the square. He hasn't he got no papers of his own, he hasn't he got no medals nor rewards, so we must certify the skill he's shown in usin' of his long two-handed swords, when he's up in and out among the bush with his coffin-headed shield and shovel-spear. An happy day with Fuzzy on the rush will last an healthy Tommy for a year. So here's to you, Fuzzy, and your friends which are no more. If we hadn't lost some messmates we would help you to deplore, but give and take's the gospel, and we'll call the bargain fair, for if you have lost more than us, you crumpled up the square. He rushes at the smoke when we let drive, and, before we know, he's hacking at our head. He's all hot sund and ginger when alive, and he's generally shammin' when he's dead. He's a daisy, he's a ducky, he's a lamb. He's a india-rubber idiot on the spree, he's the only thing that doesn't give a damn for a regiment o' British infantry. So here's to you, Fuzzy, at your home in the Sudan. You're a poor benighted heathen but a first-class fightin' man, and here's to you, Fuzzy, with your Eric Edever, you big black-bounden beggar, for you broke a British square. Soldier, 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 soldier come from the wars, why don't you march with my true love? We're fresh from off the ship and he's maybe give the slip, and you'd best go look for a new love. New love. True love. Best go look for a new love, the dead they cannot rise, and you'd better dry your eyes, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, what did you see oh my true love? I seed him serve the Queen in a suit o' rifle green, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, did ye see no more o' my true love? I seed him running by when the shots begun to fly, but you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, did aught take harm to my true love? I couldn't see the fight, for the smoke it lay so white, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, I'll up and tend to my true love. He's lying on the dead with a bullet through his head, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, I'll down and die with my true love. The pit we dug lied him and the 20 men beside him, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, do you bring no sign from my true love? I bring a lock of hair that Aeolus used to wear, and you'd best go look for a new love. Soldier, soldier come from the wars, oh then I know it's true I've lost my true love. And I tell you truth again, when you've lost the feel o' pain you'd best take me for your true love. True love. New love. Best take him for a new love, the dead they cannot rise, and you'd better dry your eyes, and you'd best take him for your true love. Screw guns smoking my pipe on the mountings, sniffin' the morning cool, I walks in my old brown gaiters along o' my old brown mule, with 70 gunners behind me, and never a beggar forgets it's only the pick of the army that handles the dear little pets, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns they all love you. So when we call round with a few guns, o' course you will know what to do, who? Just send in your chief and surrender, it's worse if you fights or you runs, you can go where you please, you can skid up the trees, but you don't get away from the guns. They sends us along where the roads are, but mostly we goes where they ain't. We'd climb up the side of a signboard and trust to the stick o' the paint. We've chivied the nigger and Luce I, we've give the Afridi man fits, for we fancies ourselves at 2000, we guns that are built in 2 bits, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns. If a man doesn't work, why, we drills him and teaches him how to behave. If a beggar can't march, why, we kills him and rattles him into his grave. You've got to stand up to our business and spring without snatching or fuss. Do you say that you sweat with the field guns? By God, you must lather with us, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns. The eagles is screamin' around us, the rivers a moanin' below, we're clear o' the pine and the oak scrub, we're out on the rocks and the snow, and the wind is as thin as a whiplash what carries away to the plains the rattle and stamp o' the lead mules, the jingle-to-jink o' the chains, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns. There's a wheel on the horns o' the morning, and a wheel on the edge o' the pit, and a drop into nothing beneath you as straight as a beggar can spit, with the sweat running out o' your shirt sleeves, and the sun off the snow in your face, and half o' the men on the drag ropes to hold the old gun in her place, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns. Smoking my pipe on the mountings, sniffin' the morning cool, I climbs in my old brown gaiters along o' my old brown mule. The monkey can say what our road was, the wild goat he knows where we passed. Stand easy, you long-eared old darlings. Out drag ropes. With shrapnel. Hold fast, TSS. TSS. For you all love the screw guns they all love you. So when we take tea with a few guns, o' course you will know what to do, who? Just send in your chief and surrender, it's worse if you fights or you runs, you may hide in the caves, they'll be only your graves, but you can't get away from the guns. Cells I've a head like a concertina, I've a tongue like a button stick, I've a mouth like an old potato, and I'm more than a little sick, but I've had my fun o' the corporal's God, I've made the cinders fly, and I'm here in the clink for a thundering drink and blacking the corporal's eye. With a second-hand overcoat under my head, and a beautiful view of the yard, oh it's pack drill for me and a fortnight's CB. For drunk and resisting the God. Mad drunk and resisting the God, struth, but I socked it them hard. So it's pack drill for me and a fortnight's CB. For drunk and resisting the God. I started o' canteen porter, I finished o' canteen beer, but a dose o' gin that a mate slipped in, it was that brought me here. 'Twas that and an extra double guard that rubbed my nose in the dirt, but I fell away with the corporal's stock and the best of the corporal's shirt. I left my cap in a public house, my boots in the public road, and Lord knows where, and I don't care, my belt and my tunic goat, they'll stop my pay, they'll cut away the stripes I used to wear, but I left my mark on the corporal's face, and I think he'll keep it there. My wife she cries on the barrack gate, my kid in the barrack yard, it ain't that I mind the orderly room, it's that cuts so hard. I'll take my oath before them both that I will sure abstain, but as soon as I'm in with a mate and gin, I know I'll do it again. With a second-hand overcoat under my head, and a beautiful view of the yard, yes, it's pack drill for me and a fortnight's CB. For drunk and resisting the God. Mad drunk and resisting the God, struth, but I socked it them hard. So it's pack drill for me and a fortnight's CB. For drunk and resisting the God. Gunga din, you may talk o gin and beer when you're quartered safe out air, and you're sent to penny fights and Aldershot it, but when it comes to slaughter you will do your work on water, and you'll lick the bloomin' boots of him that's got it. Now in India's sunny clim, where I used to spend my time a servin of Her Majesty the Queen, of all them black-faced crew the finest man I knew was our regimental pisty, Gunga Din. He was Din. 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 You limpin' lump o' brick dust, Gunga Din. Hi. Slippery Hithrow. Water, get it. Painy Lao. You squidgy-nosed old idol, Gunga Din. The uniform me wore was nothing much before, and rather less than half o' that be'ind, for a piece o' twisty rag and a goatskin water bag was all the field equipment he could find. When the sweatin' troop train lay in a sidin' through the day, where the heat would make your bloomin' eyebrows crawl, we shouted Harry by. Till our throats were bricky dry, then we whopped him 'cause he couldn't serve us all. It was Din. 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 You heathen, where the mischief have you been? You put some joldy in it or I'll marrow you this minute if you don't fill up my helmet, Gunga Din. He would dot and carry one till the longest day was done, and he didn't seem to know the use o' fear. If we charged or broke or cut, you could bet your bloomin' nut, he'd be waiting 50 paces right flank rear. With his musket on his back, he would skip with our attack, and watch us till the bugles made retire, and for all his dirty ID was white, clear white, inside when he went to tend the wounded under fire. It was Din. 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 With the bullets kicking dust spots on the green. When the cartridges ran out, you could hear the front files shout, "Hi, ammunition mules and Gunga Din." I shan't forget the night when I dropped behind the fight with a bullet where my belt plate should a been. I was choking mad with thirst, and the man that spied me first was our good old grinnin', gruntin' Gunga Din. He lifted up my head, and he plugged me where I bled, and he guv me half a pint o' water green. It was crawlin' and it stunk, but of all the drinks I've drunk, I'm gratefullest to one from Gunga Din. It was Din. 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 He's a beggar with a bullet through his spleen, he's chawing up the ground, and he's kicking all around, for good sark agit the water, Gunga Din. He carried me away to where a dooli lay, and a bullet come and drilled the beggar clean. He put me safe inside, and just before he died, "I hope you liked your drink," said Gunga Din. So I'll meet him later on at the place where he is gone, where it's always double drill and no canteen. He'll be squatting on the coals giving drink to poor damned souls, and I'll get a swig in hell from Gunga Din. Yes, Din. 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 you lays our ocean leather gunga din. Though I've belted you and flayed you, by the living good that made you, you're a better man than I am, gunga din. Oonts, Northern India transport train, what makes the soldiers to penk, what makes him to perspire? It isn't standing up to charge nor lying down to fire, but it's everlasting waiting on a everlasting road for the commissariat camel and his commissariat load. Oh the oont, oh the oont, oh the commissariat oont. With his silly neck a bobbin like a basket full o' snakes, we packs him like an idol, and you ought to hear him grunt, and when we gets him loaded up his blessed girth rope breaks. What makes the rear guard swear so hard when night is drawing in, and every native follower is shivering for his skin? It ain't the chance o' being rushed by pathans from the hills, it's the commissariat camel putting on his bloomin' frills. Oh the oont, oh the oont, oh the hairy scary oont. A trippin' over tent ropes when we've got the night alarm. We socks him with a stretcher pole and eads him off in front, and when we've saved his bloomin' life he chaws our bloomin' arm. The horse he knows above a bit, the bullock's but a fool, the elephant's a gentleman, the batter mule's a mule, but the commissariat Camuel, when all is said and done, he's a devil and a ostrich and a orphan child in one. Oh the oont, oh the oont, oh the good forsaken oont. The lumpy in bird a singin' where he lies, he's blocked the whole division from the rear guard to the front, and when we get him up again, the beggar goes and dies. He'll gall and chafe and lame and fight, he smells most awful vile, he'll lose hisself forever if you let him stray a mile. He's game to graze the ole day long and owl the ole night through, and when he comes to greasy ground he splits hisself in two. Oh the oont, oh the oont, oh the floppin', dropping oont. When his long legs give from under and his meltin' eye is dim, the tribes is up behind us, and the tribes is out in front. It ain't no jam for Tommy, but it's kites and crows for him. So when the cruel march is done, and when the roads is blind, and when we sees the camp in front and hears the shots behind, ho! Then we strips his saddle off, and all his woes is past, he thinks on us that used him so, and gets revenge at last. Oh the oont, oh the oont, oh the floatin', bloatin' oont. The late lamented camel in the water cut he lies, we keeps a mile behind him and we keeps a mile in front, but he gets into the drinking casks, and then o' course we dies. Loot if you've ever stole a pheasant egg behind the keeper's back, if you've ever snigged the washin' from the line, if you've ever crammed a gander in your bloomin' haversack, you will understand this little song o' mine. But the service rules are odd, and from such we are debarred, for the same with English morals does not suit. Cornet, toot, toot. W.Y. They call a man a robber if he stuffs his marchin' clobber with the chorus, Lou. Lou. Lulu. Lulu. Lou. Lou. Loot. 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 Ow the loot. Bloomin' loot. That's the thing to make the boys git up and shoot. It's the same with dogs and men, if you'd make 'em come again clap 'em forward with a loo. Loo. Lulu. Loot. FF, whoopee. Tear him, puppy. Loo. Lu. Lulu. Loot. 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 If you've knocked a nigger edgeways when he's thrust in for your life, you must leave him very careful where he fell, and may thank your stars and gators if you didn't feel his knife that you ain't told off to bury him as well. Then the sweatin' Tommies wonder as they spade the beggars under why lootin' should be entered as a crime, so if my song you'll hear, I will learn you plain and clear how to pay yourself for fightin' overtime. Chorus, with the loot. Now remember when you're acking round a gilded Burma god that his eyes is very often precious stones, and if you treat a nigger to a dough so clean and rod he's like to show you everything he owns. When he won't produce no more, pour some water on the floor where you hear it answer hollow to the boot, cornet, toot, toot. When the ground begins to sink, shove your bayonet down the chink, and you're sure to touch the chorus, Lu. Lu. Lulu. Loot. 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 Ow the loot. When from house to house you're hunting, you must always work in pairs, it always the gain, but safer you will find, for a single man gets bottled on them twisty-wisty stairs, and a woman comes and clobs him from behind. When you've turned 'em inside out, and it seems beyond a doubt as if there weren't enough to dust a flute, cornet, toot, toot. Before you sling your okay, at the house stops take a look, for it's underneath the tiles they hide the loot. Chorus, ow the loot. You can mostly square a sergeant and a quartermaster too, if you only take the proper way to go. I could never keep my pickings, but I've learned you all I knew, and don't you never say I told you so. And now I'll bid goodbye, for I'm getting rather dry, and I see another tuning up to toot, cornet, toot, toot. So good luck to those that wears the widow's cloes, and the devil send 'em all they want o' loot. Chorus, yes, the loot, bloomin' loot. In the tunic and the mestin and the boot. It's the same with dogs and men, if you'd make 'em come again, FFF, whoop 'em forward with a loo. Loo. Lulu. Loot. 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 He-ya. Sick him, puppy. Loo. Loo. Lulu. Loot. 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 Snarly owl. This happened in a battle to a Batawi of the corps, which is first among the women and amazin' first in war, and what the bloomin' battle was I don't remember now, but two's awfully de answered to the name o' Snarly owl. Down in the infantry, nobody cares, down in the cavalry, Colonel E swears, but down in the lead with the wheel at the flog turns the bold bombardier to a little whipped dog. They was moving into action, they was needed very sore, to learn a little schoolin' to a native army corps, they had nipped against an uphill, they was tuckin' down the brow, when a tricky, trundlin' round shot give the knock to Snarly owl. They cut him loose and left him. He was almost tore in two, but he tried to follow after as a well-trained horse should do. He went and fouled the limber, and the driver's brother squeals, pull up for Snarly owl, his head's between his heels. The driver umped his shoulder, for the wheels was going round, and there ain't no stop, conductor, when a Batawi's changin' ground. Said ye, I broke the beggar in, and very sad I feels, but I couldn't pull up, not for you, your eed between your eels. Eadnt hardly spoke the word, before a dropping shell a little right the batter iron between the sections fell, and when the smoke had cleared away, before the limber wheels, there lay the driver's brother with his eed between his eels. Then said the driver's brother, and his words was very plain, for good's own sake get over me, and put me out o' pain. They saw his wounds was mortal, and they judged that it was best, so they took and drove the limber straight across his back and chest. The driver he give nothing cept a little coffin grunt, but he swung his oarses handsome when it came to action front. And if one wheel was juicy, you may lay your Monday head 'twas juicier for the niggers when the case begun to spread. The moral of this story, it is plainly to be seen, UAVNT got no families when serving of the Queen, UAVNT got no brothers, fathers, sisters, wives, or sons. If you want to win your battles take and work your bloomin' guns. Down in the infantry, nobody cares, down in the cavalry, Colonel E swears, but down in the lead with the wheel at the flog turns the bold bombardier to a little whipped dog. The widow at Windsor have you heard o' the widow at Windsor with a hairy gold crown on her head? She has ships on the foam, she has millions at home, and she pays us poor beggars in red. Ow, poor beggars in red. There's a nick on the cavalry oarses, there's a mark on the medical stores, and troopers you'll find with a fair wind behind that takes us to various wars. Poor beggars, barbarous wars. Then heirs to the widow at Windsor, and heirs to the stores and the guns, the men and the oarses what makes up the forces o' Mrs. Victorious sons. Poor beggars. Victorious sons. Walk wide o' the widow at Windsor, for Alpha creation she owns, we have bought her the same with the sword and the flame, and we've salted it down with our bones. Poor beggars, it's blue with our bones. Hands off o' the sons o' the widow, hands off o' the goods in her shop, for the kings must come down and the emperors frown when the widow at Windsor says stop. Poor beggars, we're sent to say stop. Then heirs to the lodge o' the widow, from the pole to the tropics it runs, to the lodge that we tile with the rank and the file, and open in form with the guns. Poor beggars, it's always they guns. We have heard o' the widow at Windsor, it's safest to let her alone, for her sentries we stand by the sea and the land wherever the bugles are blown. Poor beggars, and don't we get blown. Take hold o' the wings o' the morning, and flop round the earth till you're dead, but you won't get away from the tune that they play to the bloomin' old rag overhead. Poor beggars, it's hot overhead. Then heirs to the sons o' the widow, wherever, o ever they roam. Heirs all they desire, and if they require a speedy return to their home. Poor beggars, they'll never see home. Belts there was a row in Silver Street that's near to Dublin Quay, between an Irish regiment and English cavalry. It started at reveille and it lasted until dark. The first man dropped at Harrison's, the last for an inst the park. For it was belts, 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 and that's one for you. And it was belts, 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 and that's done for you. Oh, buckle and tongue was the song that we sung from Harrison's down to the park. There was a row in Silver Street, the regiments was out, they called us Delhi rebels, and we answered threes about. That drew them like a hornet's nest, we met them good and large, the English at the double and the Irish at the charge. Then it was, belts, there was a row in Silver Street, and I was in it too, we passed the time o' day, and then the belts went whirr-oh. I misremember what occurred, but subsequent the storm a Freeman's Journal supplement was all my uniform. Oh, it was, belts. There was a row in Silver Street, they sent the police there, the English were too drunk to know, the Irish didn't care, but when they grew impertinent we simultaneous rose, till half o' them was Liffey mud and half was tathered cloes. For it was, belts. There was a row in Silver Street, it might ha' raged till now, but someone drew his sidearm clear, and nobody knew how. 'Twas Hogan took the point and dropped, we saw the red blood run, and so we all was murderers that started out in fun. While it was, belts. There was a row in Silver Street, but that put down the shine, we'd each man whisper into his next, 'twas never work o' mine. We went away like beaten dogs, and down the street we bore him, the poor dumb corpse that couldn't tell the boys were sorry for him. When it was, belts. There was a row in Silver Street, it isn't over yet, for half of us are under guard with punishments to get, 'tis all a miracle to me as in the clink I lie, there was a row in Silver Street, begod, I wonder why. But it was, belts, 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 and that's one for you. And it was belts, 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 and that's done for you. Oh, buckle and tongue was the song that we sung from Harrison's down to the park. The young British soldier when the half-made recruit he goes out to the east he acts like a babe and he drinks like a beast, and he wonders because he is frequent deceased ere he's fit for to serve as a soldier. Serve, serve, serve as a soldier, serve, serve, serve as a soldier, serve, serve, serve as a soldier, so old ear of the Queen. Now all you recruit is what's drafted today, you shut up your rag box and hark to my lay, and I'll sing you a soldier as far as I may, a soldier what's fit for a soldier. Fit, fit, fit for a soldier. First mind you steer clear o' the grog sellers' huts, for they sell you fixed bayonets that rots out your guts, drink that you'd eat the live steel from your butts, and it's bad for the young British soldier. Bad, bad, bad for the soldier. When the cholera comes, as it will past a doubt, keep out of the wet and don't go on the shout, for the sickness gets in as the liquor dies out, and it crumples the young British soldier. Crum, crum, crumples the soldier. But the worst o' your foes is the sun overhead, you must wear your helmet for all that is said, if he finds you uncovered he'll knock you down dead, and you'll die like a fool of a soldier. Fool, fool, fool of a soldier. If you're cast for fatigue by a sergeant unkind, don't grouse like a woman nor crack on nor blind, be handy and civil, and then you will find that it's beer for the young British soldier. Beer, beer, beer for the soldier. Now, if you must marry, take care she is old, a troop sergeant's widow's the nicest I'm told, for beauty won't help if your rations is cold, nor love ain't enough for a soldier. Nuff, nuff, nuff for a soldier. If the wife should go wrong with a comrade, be loath to shoot when you catch 'em, you'll swing, on my oath, make him take her and keep her, that's hell for them both, and you're shut o' the curse of a soldier. Curse, curse, curse of a soldier. When first under fire and you're wishful to duck, don't look nor take heed at the man that is struck. Be thankful you're living, and trust to your luck and march to your front like a soldier. Front, front, front like a soldier. When half of your bullets fly wide in the ditch, don't call your martini a cross-eyed old bitch. She's human as you are, you treat her as sick, and she'll fight for the young British soldier. Fight, fight, fight for the soldier. When shaking their bustles like ladies so fine, the guns o' the enemy wheel into line, shoot low at the limbus and don't mind the shine, for noise never startles the soldier. Start, start, startles the soldier. If your officer's dead and the sergeants look white, remember it's ruin to run from a fight. So take open order, lie down, and sit tight, and wait for supports like a soldier. Wait, wait, wait like a soldier. When you're wounded and left on Afghanistan's plains, and the women come out to cut up what remains, just roll to your rifle and blow out your brains and go to your good like a soldier. Go, go, go like a soldier, go, go, go like a soldier, go, go, go like a soldier, so old year of the Queen. Mandalay by the old Mole Main Pagoda, looking eastward to the sea, there's a Burma girl a-settin', and I know she thinks o' me, for the wind is in the palm trees, and the temple bells they say, come you back, you British soldier. Come you back to Mandalay. Come you back to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay, can't you hear their paddles chunkin' from Rangoon to Mandalay? On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out o' China crossed the bay. Her petticoat was yaller and her little cap was green, and her name was Supayolat. Jay's the same as Thebor's queen, and I seed her first a-smoking of a whackin' white cheroot, and a-wastin' Christian kisses on an heathen idol's foot. Bloomin' idol made o' mud, what they called the great good bud. Plucky lot she cared for idols when I kissed her where she stood. On the road to Mandalay. When the mist was on the rice fields and the sun was dropping slow, she'd git her little banjo and she'd sing Koolalolo. With her arm upon my shoulder and her cheek agin my cheek, we used to watch the steamers and the Hathis pillin' teak. Elephants a-pillin' teak in the sludgy, scudgy creek, where the silence sung that Evie you was half afraid to speak. On the road to Mandalay. But that's all shoved be'ind me, long ago and fur away, and there ain't no buses running from the bank to Mandalay, and I'm learnin' ere in London what the 10-year soldier tells, if you veered the east a-calling, you won't never eat naught else. No. You won't eat nothing else but them spicy garlic smells, and the sunshine and the palm trees and the tickly temple bells, on the road to Mandalay. I am sick o' wastin' leather on these gritty pavin' stones, and the blasted Henglish drizzle wakes the fever in my bones, though I walks with 50 housemates out o' Chelsea to the Strand, and they talks a lot o' loving, but what do they understand? Beefy face and grubby and, law. What do they understand? I've a neater, sweeter maiden in a cleaner, greener land. On the road to Mandalay. Ship me somewheres east of Suez, where the best is like the worst, where there aren't no 10 commandments and a man can raise a thirst, for the temple bells are calling, and it's there that I would be, by the old Mole Main Pagoda, looking lazy at the sea, on the road to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay, with our sick beneath the awnings when we went to Mandalay. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China crossed the bay. Troopin', our army in the east, troopin', troopin', troopin' to the sea, September come again, the 6-year men are free. Oh, leave the dead be'ind us, for they cannot come away to where the ship's a coalin' up that takes us home today. We're going home, we're going home, our ship is at the shore, and you must pack your haversack, for we won't come back no more. Ho, don't you grieve for me, my lovely Mary Ann, for I'll marry you yet on a 4 bit as a time-expired man. The Malabar's in Arbor with the Jumna at her tail, and the time-expired's waiting of his orders for to sail. Ho! The weary waiting when on Khyber Hills we lay, but the time-expired's waiting of his orders home today. They'll turn us out at Portsmouth Wharf in cold and wet and rain, all wearing Indian cotton kit, but we will not complain. They'll kill us of pneumonia, for that's their little way, but damn the chills and fever, men, we're going home today. Troopin', troopin', winter's round again. See the new drafts pourin' in for the old campaign, ho, you poor recruities, but you've got to earn your pay, what's the last from Lunnon, lads? We're going there today. Troopin', troopin', give another cheer, to English women and a quart of English beer. The colonel and the regiment and all who've got to stay, good's mercy strike 'em gentle, whoop. We're going home today. We're going home, we're going home, our ship is at the shore, and you must pack your haversack, for we won't come back no more. Ho, don't you grieve for me, my lovely Mary Ann, for I'll marry you yet on a 4 bit as a time-expired man. The widow's party, where have you been this while away, Johnny, Johnny? Long with the rest on a picnic lay, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. They called us out of the barrack yard to good knows where from Gosport hard, and you can't refuse when you get the card, and the widow gives the party. Bugle, ta, rara, rara rara. What did you get to eat and drink, Johnny, Johnny? Standing water as thick as ink, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. A bit o' beef that were 3 years stored, a bit o' mutton as tough as a board, and a fowl we killed with a sergeant's sword, when the widow give the party. What did you do for knives and forks, Johnny, Johnny? We carries 'em with us wherever we walks, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. And some was sliced and some was halved, and some was crimped and some was carved, and some was gutted and some was starved, when the widow give the party. What ha' you done with half your mess, Johnny, Johnny? They couldn't do more and they wouldn't do less, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. They ate their whack and they drank their fill, and I think the rations has made them ill, for half my compenwise lying still where the widow give the party. How did you get away, Johnny, Johnny? On the broad o' my back at the end o' the day, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. I comed away like a bleedin' toff, for I got 4 niggers to carry me off, as I lay in the bite of a canvas trough, when the widow give the party. What was the end of all the show, Johnny, Johnny? Ask my colonel, for I don't know, Johnny, my Johnny, aha. We broke a king and we built a road, a courthouse stands where the regiment goed. And the river's clean where the raw blood flowed when the widow give the party. Bugle, ta, rara, rara rara. Ford o' Cabul River, Cabul towns by Cabul River, blow the bugle, draw the sword, there I left my mate forever, wet and drippin' by the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. There's the river up and brimmin', and there's 'alf a squadron swimmin' cross the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Cabul town's a blasted place, blow the bugle, draw the sword, struth I shan't forget his face wet and drippin' by the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Keep the crossing stakes beside you, and they will surely guide you cross the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Cabul town is sun and dust, blow the bugle, draw the sword, I'd ha sooner drowned fast stead of him beside the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. You can hear the oars's threshin', you can hear the men a splashin', cross the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Cabul town was ours to take, blow the bugle, draw the sword, I'd ha left it for his sake, him that left me by the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. It's none so bloomin' dry there, ain't you never coming nigh there, cross the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Cabul town'll go to hell, blow the bugle, draw the sword, for I see him livin' well, him the best beside the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Good help 'em if they blunder, for their boots'll pull 'em under, by the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Turn your horse from Cabul town, blow the bugle, draw the sword, him and half my troop is down, down and drowned by the ford. Ford, Ford, Ford o' Cabul River, Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. There's the river low and falling, but it ain't no use o' calling cross the Ford o' Cabul River in the dark. Gentlemen rankers to the legion of the lost ones, to the cohort of the damned, to my brethren in their sorrow overseas, sings a gentleman of England cleanly bred, machinely crammed, and a trooper of the Empress, if you please. Yep, a trooper of the forces who has run his own 6 horses, and faith he went the pace and went it blind, and the world was more than kin while he held the ready tin, but today the sergeant's something less than kind. We're poor little lambs who've lost our way, BAA. 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 We're little black sheep who've gone astray, BAA, AA, AA. Gentlemen rankers out on the spree, damned from here to eternity, God ha mercy on such as we, BAA. Ya. Ba. Oh, it's sweet to sweat through stables, sweet to empty kitchen slops, and it's sweet to hear the tales the troopers tell, to dance with blousy housemaids at the regimental hops and thrash the cad who says you waltz too well. Yes, it makes you cock a hoop to be rider to your troop, and branded with a blasted worsted spur, when you envy, oh how keenly, one poor Tommy being cleanly who blacks your boots and sometimes calls you sir. If the home we never write to, and the oaths we never keep, and all we know most distant and most dear, across the snoring barrack room return to break our sleep, can you blame us if we soak ourselves in beer? When the drunken comrade mutters and the great guard lantern gutters and the horror of our fall is written plain, every secret, self-revealing on the aching whitewashed ceiling, do you wonder that we drug ourselves from pain? We have done with hope and honor, we are lost to love and truth, we are dropping down the ladder rung by rung, and the measure of our torment is the measure of our youth. God help us, for we knew the worst too young. Our shame is clean repentance for the crime that brought the sentence, our pride it is to know no spur of pride, and the curse of Reuben holds us till an alien turf enfolds us and we die, and none can tell them where we died. We're poor little lambs who've lost our way, BAA. 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 We're little black sheep who've gone astray, BAA, AA, AA. Gentlemen rankers out on the spree, damned from here to eternity, God have mercy on such as we, BAA. Ya. Ba. Route marchin' we're marchin' on relief over India's sunny plains, a little front o' Christmas time and just beyond the rains, ho! Get away you bullock man, you veered the bugle blowed, there's a regiment a-coming down the Grand Trunk Road, with its best foot first and the road a-sliding past, and every bloomin' camping ground exactly like the last, while the big drum says, with his row-de-dow-de-dow, Kaiko Kissawasti don't you Hampshire Argy-jow. Oh, there's them Indian temples to admire when you see, there's the peacock round the corner and the monkey up the tree, and there's that rummy silver grass a-wavin' in the wind, and the old Grand Trunk a-trailin' like a rifle sling beyond, while it's best foot first. At 5:30's reveille, and our tents they down must come, like a lot of button mushrooms when you pick 'em up at home. But it's over in a minute, and at 6 the column starts, while the women and the kiddies sit and shiver in the carts. And it's best foot first. Oh, then it's open order, and we lights our pipes and sings, and we talks about our rations and a lot of other things, and we thinks o' friends in England, and we wonders what they are at, and how they would admire for to hear us sling the bat. And it's best foot first. It's none so bad o' Sunday, when you're lying at your ease, to watch the kites a-wheelin' round them feather-eaded trees, for although there ain't no women, yet there ain't no barrack yards, so the orficers goes shootin' and the men they plays at cards, till it's best foot first. So arka need, you rookies, which is always grumblin' sore, there's worser things than marchin' from Umballa to Cawnpore, and if your eels are blistered and they feels to hurt like hell, you drop some tallow in your socks and that will make 'em well. For it's best foot first. We're marchin' on relief over India's coral strand, 800 fightin' Englishmen, the colonel, and the band, ho! Get away you bullock man, you veered the bugle blowed, there's a regiment coming down the Grand Trunk Road, with its best foot first and the road sliding past, and every bloomin' camping ground exactly like the last, while the big drum says, with his row-de-dow-de-dow, Kaiko Kissawasti don't you Hampshire Argy-jow. Shillin' a day my name is a Kelly, I've heard the reveille from Burr to Bareilly, from Leeds to Lahore, Hong Kong and Peshawar, Lucknow and Ottawa, and 55 more all ending in paw. Black Death and his quickness, the depth and the thickness, of sorrow and sickness I've known on my way, but I'm old and I'm nervous, I'm cast from the service, and all I deserve is a shilling a day. Chorus, shilling a day, bloomin' good pay, lucky to touch it, a shilling a day. Oh, it drives me half crazy to think of the days I went slap for the Ghazi, my sword at my side, when we rode hell for leather both squadrons together, that didn't care whether we lived or we died. But it's no use despairin', my wife must go charin' and me commissarin' the pay bills to better, so if me you be old in the wet and the cold, by the Grand Metropod, won't you give me a letter? Full chorus, give him a letter, can't do no better, late Troop Sergeant Major and runs with a letter. Think what he's been, think what he's seen, think of his pension and could save the Queen's second series, 1896. Bobs, there's a little red-faced man, which is Bobs, rides the tallest horse he can our Bobs, if it bucks or kicks or rears, he can sit for 20 years with a smile round both his ears, can't your Bobs? Then airs to Bobs Bahaj or little Bobs, Bobs, Bobs. Is or pucker Kandar harder fightin' Bobs, Bobs, Bobs. Is the Duke of Agichal, is the man that done us well, and we'll follow him to hell, won't we Bobs? If a limber slipped a trace, okay on Bobs. If a marker's lost his place, dress by Bobs. For he's eyes all up his coat, and a bugle in his throat, and you will not play the goat under Bobs. He's a little down on drink, Chaplain Bobs, but it keeps us out a clink, don't it Bobs? So we will not complain though he's water on the brain, if he leads us straight again blue light Bobs. If you stood him on his head Father Bobs, you could spill a quarto lead out of Bobs. He's been at it 30 years, and amassin' souvenirs in the way o' slugs and spears, ain't your Bobs? What he does not know o' war, General Bobs, you can ask the shop next door, can't they, Bobs? Oh, he's little, but he's wise, he's a terror for his size, and he does not advertise, do your Bobs? Now they've made a bloomin' lord out o' Bobs, which was but his fair reward, weren't it Bobs? So he'll wear a coronet where his helmet used to set, but we know you won't forget, will your Bobs? Then airs to Bobs Bahaj or little Bobs, Bobs, Bobs. Pocket Wellington and ardour, fightin' Bobs, Bobs, Bobs. This ain't no bloomin' ode, but you've helped the soldiers load, and for benefits bestowed, bless your Bobs. Back to the army again I'm in a ticky ulster and a broken billycock hat, laying on to the sergeant I don't know a gun from a bat, my shirt's doing duty for jacket, my socks sticking out o' my boots, and I'm learnin' the damned old goose step along o' the new recruits. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again. Don't look so odd, for I aven't no card, I'm back to the army again. I done my 6 years service. Majesty Sedge, good day, you'll please to come when you're rung for, unless you're ole back pay, and 4pence a day for baccy, and bloomin' generous, too, and now you can make your fortune, the same as your officers do. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again, how did I learn to do right about turn? I'm back to the army again. A man o' 24 that hasn't he learned of a trade, beside reserve agin him, ed better be never made. I tried my luck for a quarter, and that was enough for me, and I thought of Her Majesty's barracks, and I thought I'd go and see. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again. 'Tisn't my fault if I dress when I old, I'm back to the army again. The sergeant asked no questions, but he winked the other eye, he said to me, shun, and I shunted, the same as in days gone by, for he saw the set o' my shoulders, and I couldn't help holdin' straight when me and the other rookies come under the barrack gate. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again, oh would ha' thought I could carry an port. I'm back to the army again. I took my bath, and I wallowed, for, good, I needed it so. I smelled the smell o' the barracks, I heard the bugles go. I heard the feet on the gravel, the feet o' the men what drill. And I said to my flutterin' inert strings, I said to 'em, peace, be still. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again, oh said I knew when the jumner was due. I'm back to the army again. I carried my slops to the tailor, I said to him, none o' your lip. You tight 'em over the shoulders, and loose 'em over the IP, for the set o' the tunic's horrid. And he said to me, strike me dead, but I thought you was used to the business, and so he done what I said. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again. Rather too free with my fancies. What, me? I'm back to the army again. Next week I'll have fitted, I'll buy me a swagger cane, they'll let me free o' the barracks to walk on the hoe again in the name o' William Parsons, that used to be Edward Clay, and any poor beggar that wants it can draw my 4pence a day. Back to the army again, Sergeant, back to the army again. Out o' the cold and the rain, Sergeant, out o' the cold and the rain. Oh's there a man that's too good to be lost you, a man that is handled and made, a man that will pay what he cost you in learnin' the others their trade, parade. You're dropping the pick o' the army because you don't help 'em remain, but drives 'em to cheat to get out o' the street and back to the army again. Birds of prey march march. The mud is cakin' good about our trousers. Front, eyes front, and watch the colour cassins drip. Front. The faces of the women in the houses ain't the kind o' things to take aboard the ship. Cheer. And we'll never march to victory. Cheer. And we'll never live to hear the cannon roar. The large birds o' prey they will carry us away, and you'll never see your soldiers any more. We'll Oh, keep your touch, we're going round a corner. Time, mark time, and let the men be in us close. Lord. The transport's full, and elf our lot not on a, cheer, oh cheer. We're going off where no one knows. March. The devil's none so black as he is painted. Cheer. We'll have some fun before we're put away. Alt, and under out, a woman's gone and fainted. Cheer. Get on, good help the married men today. Hoy! Come up, you hungry beggars, to your sorrow. Hear them say they want their tea, and want it quick. You won't have no mind for slingers, not tomorrow, no, you'll put the 'tween-decks stove out, being sick. Alt. The married kit has all to go before us. Course it's blocked the bloomin' gangway up again. Cheer, oh cheer, the horse guards watching tender o'er us, keeping us since 8 this morning in the rain. Stuck in heavy marching order, sopped and ringing, sick, before our time to watch her even fall, you're happy home at last, and stop your singing. Alt. Fall in along the troop deck. Silence all. Cheer. For we'll never live to see no bloomin' victory. Cheer. And we'll never live to hear the cannon roar. One cheer more. The jackal and the kite have an healthy appetite, and you'll never see your soldiers any more. IP. Roar. The eagle and the crow, they are waiting ever so, and you'll never see your soldiers any more. IP. Roar. Yes, the large birds, oh pray they will carry us away, and you'll never see your soldiers any more. Soldier and sailor too, as I was spittin' into the ditch aboard o' the crocodile, I seed a man on a man-o' war got up in the Reglar's style. He was scraping the paint from off of her plates, and I said to him, "Oh, are you?" Said he, "I'm a jolly, Her Majesty's jolly, soldier and sailor too." Now his work begins by good knows when, and his work is never through. He isn't one o' the Reglar line, nor he isn't one of the crew. He's a kind of a giddy hermaphrodite, soldier and sailor too. And after I met him all over the world, doing all kinds of things, like landin' hisself with a Gatlin gun to talk to the heathen kings. He sleeps in an hammock instead of a cot, and he drills with the deck on a slough, and he sweats like a jolly, Her Majesty's jolly, soldier and sailor too. For there isn't a job on the top o' the earth the beggar don't know, nor do. You can leave him at night on a bald man's head, to paddle his own canoe. He's a sort of a bloomin' cosmopolite, soldier and sailor too. We've fought 'em in trooper, we've fought 'em in dock, and drunk with 'em in betweens, when they called us the seasick scullery maids, and we called 'em the arse marines. But, when we was down for a double fatigue, from Woolwich to Bernardmire, we sent for the jollies, Her Majesty's jollies, soldier and sailor too. They think for themselves, and they steal for themselves, and they never ask what's to do, but they are camped and fed, and they are up and fed before our bugles blew. Ho! They ain't no limpin' procrastitutes, soldier and sailor too. You may say we are fond of an ice cut, or hootin' in barrack yards, or starting a board school mutiny along o' the Onion Guards, but once in a while we can finish in style for the ends of the earth to view, the same as the jollies, Majesty's jollies, soldier and sailor too. They come of our lot, they was brothers to us, they was beggars we'd met and knew, yes, barring an inch in the chest and the arm, they was doubles o' me and you, for they weren't no special chrysanthemums, soldier and sailor too. To take your chance in the thick of a rush, with firing all about, is nothing so bad when you've cover to and leave and like in to shout, but to stand and be still to the Birkenhead drill is a damn tough bullet to chew, and they done it, the jollies, Majesty's jollies, soldier and sailor too. Their work was done when it hadn't begun, they was younger nor me and you, their choice it was plain between drowning in heaps and being mopped by the screw, so they stood and was still to the Birkenhead drill, soldier and sailor too. We're most of us liars, we're half of us thieves, and the rest are as rank as can be, but once in a while we can finish in style, which I hope it won't happen to me. But it makes you think better o' you and your friends, and the work you may have to do, when you think o' the sinking victorious jollies, soldier and sailor too. Now there isn't no room for to say ye don't know, they have proved it plain and true, that whether it's widow, or whether it's ship, victorious work is to do, and they done it, the jollies, Majesty's jollies, soldier and sailor too. Sappers when the waters were dried and the earth did appear, it's all one says the sapper, the Lord he created the engineer, Her Majesty's Royal Engineer, with the rank and pay of a sapper. When the flood come along for an extra monsoon, 'twas Noah constructed the first pontoon to the plans of Her Majesty's, etc. But after fatigue in the wet and the sun, old Noah got drunk, which he wouldn't ha' done if he'd trained with, etc. When the Tower o' Babel had mixed up men's bat, some clever civilian was managing that, and none of, etc. When the Jews had a fight at the foot of a hill, young Joshua ordered the sun to stand still, for he was a captain of engineers, etc. When the children of Israel made bricks without straw, they were learning the regular work of our corps, the work of, etc. For ever since then, if a war they would wage, behold us shining on history's page, first page 4, etc. We lay down their sidings and help 'em entrain, and we sweep up their mess through the bloomin' campaign, in the style of, etc. They send us in front with a fuse and a mine to blow up the gates that are rushed by the line, but bent by, etc. They send us behind with a pick and a spade, to dig for the guns of a Bullock brigade which has asked for, etc. We work under escort in trousers and shirt, and the heathen they plug us tail up in the dirt, annoying, etc. We blast out the rock and we shovel the mud, we make 'em good roads and they roll down the cud, reporting, etc. We make 'em their bridges, their wells, and their huts, and the telegraph wire the enemy cuts, and it's blamed on, etc. And when we return, and from war we would cease, they grudge us adorning the billets of peace, which are kept for, etc. We build 'em nice barracks, they swear they are bad, that our colonels are Methodist, married or mad, insulting, etc. They haven't no manners nor gratitude too, for the more that we help 'em, the less will they do, but mock at, etc. Now the line's but a man with a gun in his hand, and cavalry's only what horses can stand, when helped by, etc. Artillery moves by the leave o' the ground, but we are the men that do something all round, for we are, etc. I have stated it plain, and my argument's thus: it's all one, says the sapper, there's only one corps which is perfect, that's us, and they call us Her Majesty's Engineers, Her Majesty's Royal Engineers, with the rank and pay of a sapper. That day it got beyond all orders and it got beyond all hope, it got to shamin' wounded and retirin' from the halt. Ole companies was looking for the nearest road to slope, it were just a bloomin' knockout, and our fault. Now there ain't no chorus air to give, nor there ain't no band to play, and I wish I was dead for I done what I did, or seen what I seed that day. We was sick o' being punished, and we let 'em know it, too, and a company commander up and hit us with a sword, and someone shouted okay it, and it come to Sovkipu, and we chucked our rifles from us, oh my good. There was 30 dead and wounded on the ground we wouldn't keep, no. There wasn't more than 20 when the front begun to go, but, Christ! Along the line o' flight they cut us up like sheep, and that was all we gained by doing so. I heard the knives be'ind me, but I dursn't face my man, nor I don't know where I went to, 'cause I didn't ought to see, till I heard a beggar squealing out for quarter as he ran, and I thought I knew the voice and it was me. We was hidden under bedsteads more than half a march away, we was lying up like rabbits all about the countryside, and the Major cursed his Maker 'cause he lived to see that day, and the Colonel broke his sword across, and cried. We was rotten 'fore we started, we was never disciplined, we made it out of favor if an order was obeyed, yes, every little drummer had his rights and wrongs to mind, so we had to pay for teachin', and we paid. The papers ID it handsome, but you know the army knows, we was put to groom camels till the regiments withdrew, and they gave us each a medal for subduing England's foes, and I hope you like my song, because it's true. And there ain't no chorus air to give, nor there ain't no band to play, but I wish I was dead for I done what I did, or seen what I seed that day. The men that fought at Minden, a song of instruction. The men that fought at Minden, they was rookies in their time, so was them that fought at Waterloo. All the Ole command, yus, from Minden to Maywand, they was once damn sweeps like you. Then do not be discouraged, even is your helper, we'll learn you not to forget, and you mustn't swear and curse, or you'll only catch it worse, for we'll make you soldiers yet. The men that fought at Minden, they had stocks beneath their chins, 6-inch iron more, but fatigue it was their pride, and they would not be denied to clean the cookhouse floor. The men that fought at Minden, they had anarchistic bombs served to 'em by name of hand grenades, but they got it in the eye, same as you will by and by, when they clubbed their field parades. The men that fought at Minden, they had buttons up and down, 22 dozen of 'em told, but they didn't grouse and shirk at an hour's extra work, they kept 'em bright as gold. The men that fought at Minden, they was armed with musketoons, also, they was drilled by halberdiers, I don't know what they were, but the sergeants took good care they washed behind their ears. The men that fought at Minden, they had ever cash in and which they did not bank nor save, but spent it gay and free on their betters, such as me, for the good advice I gave. The men that fought at Minden, they was civil, yus, they was, never didn't talk o' rights and wrongs, but they got it with the toe, same as you will get it, so. For interrupting songs. The men that fought at Minden, they was several other things which I don't remember clear, but that's the reason why, now the 6-year men are dry, the rooks will stand the beer. Then do not be discouraged, even is your helper, we'll learn you not to forget, and you mustn't swear and curse, or you'll only catch it worse, for we'll make you soldiers yet. Soldiers yet, if you've got it in you, all for the sake of the corps, soldiers yet, if we are they to skin you, run and get the beer, Johnny Raw, Johnny Raw. Ho! Run and get the beer, Johnny Raw. Cholera camp, we've got the cholera in camp, it's worse than 40 fights, we're dying in the wilderness the same as Irulites, it's before us, and behind us, and we cannot get away, and the doctors just reported we've 10 more today. Oh, strike your camp and go, the bugle's calling, the rains are falling, the dead are bushed and stoned to keep 'em safe below, the band's doing all she knows to cheer us, the chaplain's gone and prayed to good to hear us, O Lord, for it's a killing of us so. Since August, when it started, it's been sticking to our tail, though they've had us out by marches and they've had us back by rail, but it runs as fast as troop trains, and we cannot get away, and the sick list to the colonel makes 10 more today. There ain't no fun in women nor there ain't no bite to drink, it's much too wet for shootin', we can only march and think, and at evening, down the nullahs, we can hear the jackals say, get up, you rotten beggars, you've 10 more today. 'Twould make a monkey cough to see our way o' doing things, lieutenants taking companies and captains taking wings, and lances acting sergeants, 8 file to obey, for we've lots o' quick promotion on 10 deaths a day. Our colonel's white and twitterly, he gets no sleep nor food, but mucks about in hospital where nothing does no good. He sends us heaps o' comforts, all bought from his pay, but there aren't much comfort handy on 10 deaths a day. Our chaplain's got a banjo, and a skinny mule he rides, and the stuff he says and sings us, Lord, it makes us split our sides. With his black coat tails bobbing to tarara boom day. He's the proper kind o' padre for 10 deaths a day. And Father Victor helps him with our Roman Catholics, he knows a heap of Irish songs and rummy conjuring tricks, and the two they works together when it comes to play or pray, so we keep the ball rolling on 10 deaths a day. We've got the cholera in camp, we've got it hot and sweet, it ain't no Christmas dinner, but it's helped and we must eat. We've gone beyond the funkin', 'cause we've found it doesn't pay, and we're rocking round the district on 10 deaths a day. Then strike your camp and go, the rains are falling, the bugle's calling. The dead are bushed and stoned to keep 'em safe below. And them that do not like it they can lump it, and them that cannot stand it they can jump it. We've got to die somewhere, some way, somehow, we might as well begin to do it now. Then, number 1, let down the tent pole slow, knock out the pegs and old the corners, so. Fold in the flies, furl up the ropes, and stow. Oh, strike your camp and go. Good help us. The ladies, I've taken my fun where I've found it, I've roped and I've ranged in my time, I've had my picking o' sweethearts, and 4 o' the lot was prime. One was an half-caste widow, one was a woman at prom, one was the wife of a Jemadar-size, and one is a girl at home. Now I aren't no and with the ladies, for, taking 'em all along, you never can say till you've tried 'em, and then you are like to be wrong. There's times when you'll think that you mightn't, there's times when you'll know that you might, but the things you will learn from the yellow and brown, they'll help you a lot with the white. I was a young UN at a glee, shy as a girl to begin, Aggie de Castro she made me, and Aggie was clever as sin, older than me, but my first UN, more like a mother she were, showed me the way to promotion and pay, and I learned about women from her. Then I was ordered to Burma, actin' in charge o' Beza, and I got me a TID live Ethan through buying supplies off her pa. Funny and yellow and faithful, doll in a teacup she were, but we lived on the square, like a true married pair, and I learned about women from her. Then we was shifted to Nemach, or I might ha' been keeping her now, and I took with a shiny she-devil, the wife of a nigger at Mhow, taught me the gypsy folks bowly, kind o' volcano she were, for she knifed me one night 'cause I wished she was white, and I learned about women from her. Then I come home in the trooper, long of a kiddo 16, girl from a convent at Meerut, the straightest I ever have seen. Love at first sight was her trouble, she didn't know what it were, and I wouldn't do such, 'cause I liked her too much, but I learned about women from her. I've taken my fun where I've found it, and now I must pay for my fun, for the more you know the others the less will you settle to one, and the end of it's sitting and thinking, and dreamin' hellfires to see, so be warned by my lot, which I know you will not, and learn about women from me. What did the Colonel's lady think? Nobody never knew. Somebody asked the sergeant's wife, and she told 'em true. When you get to a man in the case, they like as a row of pins, for the Colonel's lady and Judy O'Grady are sisters under their skins. Billikens, has anybody seen Billikens? Now how in the devil would I know? He's taken my girl out walking, and I've got to tell him so, good, bless him. I've got to tell him so. Do you know what he's like, Billikens? Now what in the devil would I care? He's the living, breathing image of an organ grinder's monkey, with a pound of grease in his hair, good, bless him. And a pound o' grease in his hair. And suppose you met Billikens, now what in the devil you'd ye do? I'd open his cheek to his chin strap buckle, and bung up his both eyes, too, good, bless him. And bung up his both eyes, too. Look where he comes, Billikens. Now what in the devil will you say? It isn't fit and proper to be fightin' on a Sunday, so I'll pass him the time o' day, good, bless him. I'll pass him the time o' day. The Mother Lodge there was Rundle, station master, and Beasley of the rail, and Ackman, commissariat, and Donkin o' the jail, and Blake, conductor sergeant. Our master twice was he, with him that kept the Europe shop, old Framji Edulji. Outside, sergeant. Sir. Salute. Salam. Inside, brother, and it doesn't do no harm. We met upon the level and we parted on the square, and I was junior deacon in my mother lodge out there. We'd Bola Nath, accountant, and Saul the Adenju, and Din Mohammed, draftsman of the survey office too. There was Babu Chakrabarti, and Amir Singh the Sikh, and Castro from the fit-in sheds, the Roman Catholic. We adn't good regalia, and our lodge was old and bare, but we knew the ancient landmarks, and we kept 'em to a hair, and looking on it backwards it often strikes me thus, there ain't such things as infidels, except, perhaps, it's us. For monthly, after labor, we'd all sit down and smoke. We durstn't give no banquets, lest a brother's caste were broke, and man on man got talking religion and the rest, and every man comparing of the God he knew the best. So man on man got talking, and not a brother stirred till morning waked the parrots and that damn brain fever bird. We'd say 'twas highly curious, and we'd all ride home to bed, with Mohammed, God, and Shiva changin' pickets in our Eid. Full oft on government service this roving foot hath pressed, and bore fraternal greetings to the lodges east and west, accordiners commanded from Kohat to Singapore, but I wish that I might see them in my mother lodge once more. I wish that I might see them, my brethren black and brown, with the triches smellin' pleasant and the hogdarn passin' down, and the old Khanzamah snoring on the bottle corner floor, like a master in good standing with my mother lodge once more. Outside, sergeant. Sir. Salute. Salam. Inside, brother, and it doesn't do no harm. We met upon the level and we parted on the square, and I was junior deacon in my mother lodge out there. Follow me home there was no one like him, or saw foot, nor any o' the guns I knew, and because it was so, why, o' course he went and died, which is just what the best men do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. And it's finish up your swipes and follow me. Oh, hark to the big drum calling, follow me home. Is mare she neighs the ole day long, she paws the ole night through, and she won't take her feed cause o' waiting for his step, which is just what a beast would do. Is girl she goes with a bombardier before her month is through, and the bands are up in church, for she's got the beggar hooked, which is just what a girl would do. We fought 'bout a dog, last week it were, no more than a round or two, but I strook him cruel hard, and I wish I adn't now, which is just what a man can't do. He was all that I had in the way of a friend, and I've had to find one new, but I'd give my pay and stripe for to get the beggar back, which it's just too late to do. So it's knock out your pipes and follow me. And it's finish off your swipes and follow me. Oh, hark to the fife say crawlin'. Follow me home. Take him away. He's gone where the best men go. Take him away. And the gun wheels turn in slow. Take him away. There's more from the place he come. Take him away, with the limber and the drum. For it's 3 rounds blank and follow me, and it's 13 rank and follow me, oh, pass in the love o' women, follow me ome. The sergeant's wedding he was warned agin her, that's what made him look, she was warned agin him, that is why she took. Wouldn't hear no reason, went and done it blind, we know all about 'em, they've got all to find. Cheer for the sergeant's wedding, give 'em 1 cheer more. Grey gun 'orses in the lando, and a rogue is married to, etc. What's the use o' telling 'alf the lot she's been? 'E's a bloomin' robber, and 'e keeps canteen. 'Ow did 'e get his buggy? Good, you needn't ask. Made his 40-gallon out of every cask. Watch him, with his hair cut, count us filin' by, won't the colonel praise his pop, you, la, I, tie. We 'ave scores to settle, scores for more than beer, she's the girl to pay 'em, that is why we're 'ere. See the chaplain thinking. See the women smile. Twig the married winkin' as they take the aisle. Keep your sidearms quiet, dress in by the band. Ho! You ole beggars, cough be'ind your hand. Now it's done and over, 'ear the organ squeak, voice that breathed o'er Eden, ain't she got the cheek? White and laylock ribbons, think yourself so fine. I'd pray good to take your for I made your mine. Escort to the carriage, wish him luck, the brute. Chuck the slippers after, pity tinty a boot. Bowin' like a lady, blushin' like a lad, I would say to see 'em both is rotten bad. Cheer for the sergeant's wedding, give 'em 1 cheer more. Grey gun 'orses in the lando, and a rogue is married to, etc. The jacket through the plagues of Egypt we was chasin' Araby, gettin' down and shovin' in the sun, and you might have called us dirty, and you might ha called us dry, and you might have heard us talking at the gun. But the captain 'ad his jacket, and the jacket it was new, 'orse gunners, listen to my song. And the wetting of the jacket is the proper thing to do, nor we didn't keep him waiting very long. One day they gave us orders for to shell a sand redoubt, loading down the axle arms with case, but the captain knew his duty, and he took the crackers out and he put some proper liquor in its place. And the captain saw the shrapnel, which is 36 clear. 'Orse gunners, listen to my song. Will you draw the weight, Sergi, or will you draw the beer? And we didn't keep him waiting very long. For the captain, etc. Then we trotted gentle, not to break the bloomin' glass, though the Arabites had all their ranges marked, but we dursn't hardly gallop, for the most was bottled base, and we'd dreamed of it since we was disembarked, so we fired economic with the shells we 'ad in and, 'orse gunners, listen to my song. But the beggars under cover 'ad the impudence to stand, and we couldn't keep 'em waiting very long. And the captain, etc. So we finished off the liquor, and the captain took champagne, and the Arabites was shootin' all the while, and we left our wounded 'appy with the empties on the plain, and we used the bloomin' guns for projectile. We limbered up and galloped, there were nothing else to do, 'orse gunners, listen to my song. And the battery came a-boundin' like a boundin' kangaroo, but they didn't watch us coming very long. As the captain, etc. We was going most extended, we was driving very fine, and the Arabites were loose and iron wide, till the captain took the glassy with a rattling right incline, and we dropped upon their eads the other side. Then we give them quarter, such as ADNT up and cut, or skunners, listen to my song. And the captain stood a limber full of fizzy, something brut, but we didn't leave it fizzing very long. For the captain, etc. We might ha been court-martialed, but it all come out all right when they signalled us to join the main command. There was every round expended, there was every gunner tight, and the captain waved a corkscrew in his hand. But the captain had his jacket, etc. The heathen in his blindness bows down to wood and stone, he don't obey no orders unless they is his own, he keeps his side arms awful, he leaves 'em all about, and then comes up the regiment and pokes the heathen out. All along o' dirtiness, all along o' mess, all along o' doing things rather more or less, all along of Abinay, Cull, and has a ho, mind you keep your rifle and yourself just so. The young recruit is 'aughty, he drafts from good knows where, they bid him show his stockings and lay his mattress square, he calls it bloomin' nonsense, he doesn't know no more, and then up comes his company and kicks him round the floor. The young recruit is mad, he takes it very hard, he hangs his head and mutters, he sulks about the yard, he talks so cruel tyrants he'll swing for by and by, and the others ears and mocks him, and the boy goes off to cry. The young recruit is silly, he thinks o' suicide, he's lost his gutter devil, he hasn't he got his pride, but day by day they kicks him, which helps him on a bit, till he finds hisself one morning with a full and proper kit. Gettin' clear o' dirtiness, gettin' done with mess, gettin' shut o' doing things rather more or less, not so fond of Abinay, Cull, nor has a ho, learns to keep his rifle and hisself just so. The young recruit is happy, he throws a chest to suit, you see him grow mustaches, you hear him slap his boot, he learns to drop the bloodies from every word he slings, and he shows an healthy brisket when he strips for bars and rings. The cruel tyrant sergeants they watch him half a year, they watch him with his comrades, they watch him with his beer, they watch him with the women at the regimental dance, and the cruel tyrant sergeants send his name along for Lance. And now he's half o' nothing, and all a private yet, his room they up and rags him to see what they will get, they rags him low and cunning, each dirty trick they can, but he learns to sweat his temper and he learns to sweat his man. And, last, a colour sergeant, as such to be obeyed, he schools his men at cricket, he tells 'em on parade, they sees 'em quick and handy, uncommon set and smart, and so he talks to officers which are they the corps at hurt. He learns to do his watching without it showing plain, he learns to save a dummy, and shove him straight again, he learns to check a ranker that's buying leave to shirk, and he learns to make men like him so they'll learn to like their work. And when it comes to marching he'll see their socks are right, and when it comes to action he shows 'em out of sight, he knows their ways of thinking and just what's in their mind, he knows when they are taking on and when they've fell behind. He knows each talking corporal that leads a squad astray, he feels his innards heaving, his bowels giving way, 'E sees the blue-white faces all trying hard to grin, and 'e stands and waits and suffers till it's time to cap 'em in. And now the ugly bullets come pecking through the dust, and no one wants to face 'em, but every beggar must, so, like a man in irons which isn't glad to go, they moves 'em off by companies uncommon stiff and slow. Of all his 5 years' schoolin' they don't remember much except the not retreatin', the step and keeping touch. It looks like teachin' wasted when they duck and spread an op, but if he hadn't learned 'em they'd be all about the shop. And now it's o goes backward, and now it's o comes on. And now it's get the doolies and now the captain's gone, and now it's bloody murder, but all the while they hear his voice, the same as barrack drill, a shepherd in the rear. He's just as sick as they are, his hurt is like to split, but he works 'em till he feels 'em take the bit. The rest is holdin' steady till the watchful bugles play, and he lifts 'em through the charge that wins the day. The heathen in his blindness bows down to wood and stone, he don't obey no orders unless they is his own. The heathen in his blindness must end where he began, but the backbone of the army is the non-commissioned man. Keep away from dirtiness, keep away from mess. Don't get into doing things rather more or less. Let's ha done with Abinay, Cull, and has a ho, mind you keep your rifle and yourself just so. The shut-eye sentry said the junior orderly sergeant to the senior orderly man, our orderly officers ho key mutt, you help him all you can. For the wine was old and the night is cold, and the best we may go wrong, so, 'fore he gets to the sentry box, you pass the word along. So it was rounds. What rounds? At 2 of a frosty night, he's holdin' on by the sergeant's sash, but, sentry, shut your eye. And it was pass. All's well. Oh, ain't he drippin' tight? He'll need an affidavit pretty badly by and by. The moon was white on the barracks, the road was white and wide, and the orderly officer took it all, and the 10-foot ditch beside. And the corporal pulled and the sergeant pushed, and the 3 they danced along, but I'd shut my eyes in the sentry box, so I didn't see nothing wrong. Though it was rounds. What rounds? Oh corporal, hold him up. He's usin' his cap as it shouldn't be used, but, sentry, shut your eye. And it was pass. All's well. Ho, shun the foeman cup. He'll need, etc. 'Twas after 4 in the morning, we 'ad to stop the fun, and we sent him home on a bullock cart, with his belt and stock undone, but we sluiced him down and we washed him out, and a first-class job we made, when we saved him, smart as a bombardier, for 6 o'clock parade. It had been rounds. What rounds? Oh, shove him straight again. He's usin' his sword for a bicycle, but, sentry, shut your eye. And it was pass. All's well. He's called me darling Jane. He'll need, etc. The drill was long and heavy, the sky was hot and blue, and his eye was wild and his hair was wet, but his sergeant pulled him through. Our men was good old trusties, they'd done it on their Eid, but you ought to have heard 'em mark in time to hide the things he said. For it was right flank, wheel, for alt, and stand at ease. and left extend, for centre close. O marker, shut your eye. And it was, sir, before the colonel sees. So he needed affidavits pretty badly by and by. There was 32 sergeants, there was corporals 41, there was just 900 rank and file to swear to a touch o' sun. There was me edekist in the sentry box, as I ave not told in my song, but I took my oath, which were Bible truth, I adn't seen nothing wrong. There's them that's hot and naughty, there's them that's cold and odd, but there comes a night when the best gets tight, and then turns out the God. I've seen them hide their liquor in every kind o' way, but most depends on markin' friends with Privet Thomas a dot. When it is rounds. What rounds? 'E's breathin' through his nose. 'E's reelin', rolling, roarin' tight, but, sentry, shut your eye. And it is pass. All's well. And that's the way it goes, we'll help him for his mother, and he'll help us by and by. Mary, pity women. You call yourself a man, for all you used to swear, and leave me, as you can, my certain shame to bear. Aye. You do not care, you done the worst you know. I at you, grinnin' there. Ah, good, I love you so. Nice while it lasted, and now it is over, tear out your hurt and goodbye to your lover. What's the use o' grievin', when the mother that bore you, Mary, pity women, knew it all before you? It aren't no false alarm, the finish to your fun, you ave brung the arm, and I'm the ruined one, and now you'll often run with some new fool in tow. You're hurt. You haven't none. Ah, good, I love you so. When a man is tired there is naught will bind him, all he solemn promised he will shove behind him. What's the good o' prayin' for the wrath to strike him, Mary, pity women, when the rest are like him? What hope for me or it? What's left for us to do? I've walked with men a bit, but this is you. So help me Christ, it's true. Where can I hide or go? You coward through and through. Ah, good, I love you so. All the more you give them the less are they forgiving, love lies dead, and you cannot kiss him living. Down the road he led you there is no returning, Mary, pity women, but you're late in learning. You'd like to treat me fair. You can't, because we're poor. We'd starve. What do I care? We might, but this is sure. I want the name, no more, the name, and lines to show, and not to be an awe. Ah, good, I love you so. What's the good o' pleadin', when the mother that bore you, Mary, pity women, knew it all before you? Sleep on his promises and wake to your sorrow, Mary, pity women, for we sail tomorrow. For to admire the Indian Ocean sets and smiles so soft, so bright, so bloomin' blue, there aren't a wave for miles and miles except the jiggle from the screw. The ship is swept, the day is done, the bugle's gone for smoke and play, and black agin the settin' sun the Lascar sings, hum-deckety high. For to admire and for to see, for to behold this world so wide, it never done no good to me, but I can't drop it if I tried. I see the sergeants pitch in quoits, I hear the women laugh and talk, I spy upon the quarter-deck the officers and liddies walk. I thinks about the things that was, and leans and looks across the sea, till spite of all the crowded ship there's no one left alive but me. The things that was which I have seen, in barrack, camp, and action too, I tells them over by myself, and sometimes wonders if they are true, for they was odd, most awful odd, but all the same now they are o'er. There must be heaps so plenty such, and if I wait I'll see some more. Oh, I have come upon the books, and frequent broke a barrack rule, and stood beside and watched myself be a vin like a bloomin' fool. I paid my price for finding out, nor never grutched the price I paid, but sat in clink without my boots, admiring how the world was made. Behold a crowd upon the beam, and above the sea appears old Aden, like a barrack stove that no one's lit for years and years. I passed by that when I began, and I go home the road I came, a time expired soldier man with 6 years' service to his name. My girl she said, oh, stay with me. My mother held me to her breast. They've never written none, and so they must have gone with all the rest which I have seen and found and known and met along. I cannot say the things I feel, and so I sing my evening song, for to admire and for to see, for to behold this world so wide, it never done no good to me, but I can't drop it if I tried. Asterisk 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 end of the Project Gutenberg ebook Barrack Room Ballads asterisk 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 updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works. So the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty. Disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3. Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the Foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116. 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, We know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.